right, as we get started today, we are going to begin with our final review exercise of the school year, and then we'll be all done with this booklet. So exercise 35, the very last page, page 30, in your speed drill and review exercise booklet. Yesterday, we talked about all kinds of stuff. We talked about the IRS and how they get your money to help fund the government, collecting income tax, they collect FICA tax, and all year long they're getting this money from your employer, and unless you are the employer, remember, then you're paying yourself and withholding taxes, which, you know, all of that's pretty normal, except for the FICA tax thing, remember? The FICA tax is, do you remember the percentage? 7.65% for the employer and the employee. So if you're self-employed, 7.65 plus another 7.65 comes to 15.3% of the employee's paycheck ends up going to the government. Just part of it the employer has to handle himself. But you got the income tax coming out. You remember there was that W-4 form where you told the government, or you told your employer, excuse me, how many people depend on you so they could guesstimate about how much needed to be withheld every month to make sure the government got the right amount. And then at the end of the year, they tell you, okay, this is exactly how much you earned. This is exactly how much we gave to the government. And you'd figure your taxes on a 1040 form. And then you'd come to the conclusion, hey, here's my adjusted gross income, here's my deduction, so here's my actual taxable income, and if we take this percent of that, this is how much I was supposed to pay. I paid this much. I deserve a refund, or, uh-oh, this is how much I'm supposed to pay? I've only paid this much so far. Dang it, I still owe them more money? How am I supposed to pay that? You know, and then anyway, the refund people, by the way, April 15th might be a day you remember. April 15th, the tax day. And that's the day that the taxes are due. And that's usually if you owe money, you're waiting as late as you can to finally pay the government what they get. And if you're one of those who needs a refund, man, just as quick as you can get on it, you're getting your refund. Anyway, we talked about all of that yesterday. Exercise 35, I'm going to give you some time to work on your own there at your seats. And then we're going to go over the problems together and see how we did. For those watching on YouTube, since I'm not recording this in front of live students, since it's kind of a remake thanks to some changes in tax law, I had to update some things. If you're watching on YouTube, just pause the video until you're finished with all three problems, and then restart the video, or resume the video is the word I should say, and we'll go over these problems together. All right, well, let's go and take a look at the problems on exercise 35 and see how you did. Were you perfect? 5 answers we're looking for. 3 answers to problem number 1, and then, of course, the next 2 problems just have the single answer. Jacob, it says, worked 39 hours at Chick-fil-A last week at $8.25 per hour. So hopefully the first thing you did was you multiplied the $8.25 times the 39 hours. By the way, remember, standard work week is 40. Anything over 40, you get overtime. Well, he didn't quite make the 40. And so when you multiplied it out, you should have gotten, if my math is right, and I'll fact check this, $321.75. This is how much he earned. This is his gross pay. Did you get his gross pay? Correct, $321.75. Okay, well, if you did, next thing we need to look at is how much FICA tax should he have withheld? Well, remember, FICA tax is 7.65% or 0.0765 of the gross pay. Gross pay being $321.75. Oh boy, I didn't mention you could use a calculator. Should have told you you could use a calculator, but since I didn't tell you that, and so if you were a good, diligent student, you didn't pull one out. If you were like, nah, there's no way, and ask you wouldn't let me use a calculator, like this is just crazy, then you know, good for you. I'll do it the slow, painful way, but just in case you were an honest sort, and you're all fast forwarding if you already found it, and you're like, no, I know I'm right. I did a calculator. There's no way I missed this. This is ghastly, isn't it? 5, 7, 8, 3, 1, 6, 4, 2, 6 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 decimal places. That can't be right. 2461? Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right, second guessing myself. 2461 in FICA tax. 2461 in FICA tax. There's your answer to number 2. How much FICA tax was withheld? $24.61. That seemed like a really small number. I forgot. Oh, yes, that's right. This is just 1 week. This isn't the whole month. This is 1 week. Yeah, okay, that is right. The next thing says, what was his net pay? Well, remember, he earned gross $321.75 minus, well, the FICA tax, but also minus his federal income tax, $32.18. Also, probably because he has no dependents. I mean, if you're working an hourly job at Chick-fil-A, you're probably a high school kid, and you have no dependents. So your W-4 form tells the employer, yeah, take out the maximum amount. And so they're taking out the maximum amount. And another $17.68 in state income tax. So we got to subtract all 3 of these. And again, here if we had the calculator, that'd be really easy since we aren't using the calculator. We'll first add all 3 of these numbers together. 17, goodness gracious. I really should have told you to use a calculator. It would have made my life easier. And so $74.47 total deduction. We subtract that from $321.75, and we get $246.28. Oh, that's right, I didn't borrow there. $247.28. Good thing I have an answer key. All right, and that's how much his net pay would have been. $247.28. And curious, if you did better than I did, because I technically had a little calculation error in there. Did you get all 3 answers right for number 1? Number 2, Mr. Holcomb earned $16 an hour and worked 35 hours last week. Find his net earnings after FICA and federal income tax are withheld. So we're going to multiply 16 an hour times 35 hours. And we get $560 gross minus federal income tax. Takes him down to $504. But we also have to subtract the FICA, and so that means we got to multiply the 560 times the 0.0765. Again, we're hanging the 0 here. And 0925, wait. 405, there we go. And 5283, 04824, 4 decimal places. 4284 FICA, fact checking along the way. Yep, that's right so far. And when we subtract, we get 461.16 is his net earnings. That is correct. 461.16. Did you get that? For his net earnings. Again, you find his gross, take away the income tax, figure what the FICA is, subtract that away, and there's your net pay for the week. Which, that's not too bad. Not too bad weekly pay. It's not great either. But it's not bad. It's not bad. All right, so the final problem. Dr. Whitley earned $25,426 in fees last month. That's some good money. Okay, she's upper middle class there. She's self-employed. So she pays a FICA tax rate of 15.3%. Remember? She pays employer and employee amounts. How much was her FICA tax last month? Well, so all it's asking for is FICA tax. So it's really one step. You're going to take the 25,426 that she got, and you're going to multiply by 0.153. And for sake of time on the video, when we multiply that out, we should get $3,890.18 for our answer. And that takes care of Dr. Whitley. Now, to be fair, some of you look at that like, man, that's a lot of money. Well, it is a lot of money that she's making, and therefore a lot of money she's sending to the government. Remember, there's still a flat tax, but it's a good thing she's making that much because she got student loans from all her years at medical school she got to pay off. So there's a reason doctors are expensive. They spent a whole lot of money getting that training, and so they charge a lot. But there you go. Once it's all paid off, though, live very comfortably and contribute to society and help mankind. It's a great profession if that's what God calls you to. How'd you do on exercise 35? I hope you did well. Hopefully, throughout the course of this whole book, and especially what we've done today, help you understand basic life finance. That was the point of all the review exercises that we worked throughout the school year. So hopefully they had that intended effect. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into exam review now.